Okay. Ready?
Hello.
Okay, so we'll start with this first question. I give you here a requirement. It says the system shall allow users to search for appointments across all clinics. While implementation, developers made the search option, but they limited this to a single clinic at a time. Which of these best describe the issue? Ambiguity. Okay, so we agreed when there is ambiguity, most likely it leads to miscommunication between teams, which can lead to having different design that doesn't reflect your own requirements, having development that doesn't reflect your design, right? So if there is a good and proper communication between these teams, most likely they will deliver the right requirement. So this is ambiguity. Yes.
Correct.
هقول كل الآن بعدين نشرحها. طيب, so second question, university portal must display an error message within 2 seconds if login fails. So which requirement this one reflects? So again, when we talk about numbers, minutes, seconds, milliseconds, this is usually a measure of performance, right? Now, third question, which of the following statements represent the good requirement? Now let's go through it. So first one, the system shall load all dashboard widgets in less than 3 seconds after login. Is it complete?
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Do you know what to implement, what to
Yes.
design?
Yes.
So this is good one. The interface should be easy to use and look nice.
No. How nice? Because what do you mean?
How
easy
nice?
and how
Again,
nice?
do we do it in pink, in purple? How nice? How do you define how easy it is, right? So again, this is something to be what? What's missing here?
It's incomplete details.
لا مش ده. Huh?
Test.
How would you test it? How would you test? When we say this is as fast, like when you have it rendered within 3 seconds. Now you can test. If it exceeds 3 seconds, it's failing, right? Alright, so system must be compatible with the Windows, Macintosh, Linux, specific, clear.
Yes.
So this is good. Now database should be fast enough to handle heavy load.
No, how heavy? How fast?
How heavy load? How many users you're talking about? How many possible row and record? Are we talking about hundreds of data? Thousands of data? Millions of data? Right? How fast? 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds? So again, this has to be clear, right? The system shall send a confirmation email within 30 seconds of successful payment.
Yes.
This is good. User interface shall be designed using modern user interface standard.
Yes.
Which standard? IEEE,
Yeah.
IEEE, ISO, ICT. How modern? How modern?
The newest one, yeah.
The newest one, that's what
Did I say the
Yeah.
most recent?
The modern. What modern means?
Modern means everything. All the 10 years I can consider modern. Which one? Again, which one reflects software, not hardware? So you can't really be this general, right? You need to be specific. Again, it has to commit to these standards, but what standards? Which part of the user interface? Is it accessibility standards? Is it documentation standards? Right? Like, system should allow employees to access relevant data quickly.
How quickly?
How quickly? Exactly. What data? What relevant data do I mean here? Do I mean the student name, the age, the GPA? What do I mean here? Do I mean the employee salary? Which data do I mean? Then quickly, again, you need to find one way of measuring it. So in terms of testability, this has to be measurable.
Professor, for
Please.
this question, how are you going to mark the answers? Is it like...
Okay, it's 1 mark and 3 answers. So every one right answer counts partial grading.
Okay, what if I put like an extra one?
This is fine. It's not fine usually, but this time I'll make exception. Okay, either you have the 3 and there is, it's just 1. إذا عملت كل الoptions, sorry. This is not accepted.
So you'll give us the whole mark?
Yes. Is a few one that's wrong, extra one, I'll give you extra.
Is that this?
1 is correct? You get its own mark. Its own mark. 0.3. 0.3.
What is the correct answer?
ACE.
ACE. ACE.
Doctor,
Please.
if I picked all the right options, but I also picked two options that were wrong, how are you going to calculate?
So you captured 5
Yes.
out of 6.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
No, I mean, wait, it's 7.
هو السؤال عليه علامة صح؟
It's 7 options.
عادي تو دكتور
The answer was 0.
And I picked 5 out of 7. So I picked all the right ones.
Me too.
How are you going to calculate?
Okay, so there might be a small penalty added for this. Okay, it's a very short one. By the way, I'll tell you what happens with global exams, and for you again, know this. Like when you answer, let's say a right one and a wrong one. Usually the wrong one deletes the right one.
Oh,
This is usually the standard exams. Okay, I'm not gonna do this. But for you later on, you have to be specific.
do they do that like 30?
أنا بحكي عن
global.
global exams.
Okay.
يعني بنحكي عن IPM exams, Oracle exams.
I hope I don't do it.
هي ال official degrees that adds later to your own CV. بس يعني anyways, I'm not doing this here. We're still in a very early stage. But I want you to learn from this. So يعني I can let it pass this time, but next time no. You have to be specific which answer you need to put. يعني كتير examinations you will see أحيانا كل ال options they're correct. All of them they're correct. But it asks you which one is the best fit. So you have to make a single choice. And if you made more, it's cancelled. But train yourself, yani, this is a chance for you. Get this part of your own training. Okay? Right. Next question.
Composition.
Okay. So which relation indicates strong ownership when we have part and a whole? So the part cannot exist without the whole. What do we call it?
Composition.
Composition. Excellent. Okay. True, false?
True, false, false.
Nice.
True, false, true.
True, false.
True, false. Because it's dependency
True.
isn't permanent.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Just that part. First part is true. First part is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This part is entirely true. But true, what do we call it? True and false gives you what?
False.
ما قرأت permanent identity.
So when part of the statement is correct, but the other part is invalid, you consider it invalid.
But always I need them to tell the answer.
Please.
قرأت permanent بس. هذا خلاص حطيت تو في البداية. عدد.
Each one has one.
اوكي لازم
طيب هو حصل mistake anyways. If you noticed أنا كان عندي
answer key.
Were they supposed to be two different questions? لا كان لازم
No,
12,
here.
13, 14, 15.
see this من 12 jumping here ل 19. But your exam, if you can tell, your exam can be 6 extra questions.
Yeah.
But I deleted them last minute for you. ليه? Because of your linear exam. وبأمانة it wasn't easy for you to solve the other 6 questions.
What were they? MCQ or two?
You might see them بالfinal.
Oh my god.
Short answer, short answer.
I think
Oh my god.
No, والله it wasn't hard, but I was trying to reduce the.
I feel like I should have removed the drawing and kept the other 6
Shabu, you felt like it was
Wallah.
meant to be for the midterm. I couldn't take the tricky question.
Okay, later, and just keep this in mind. وبعدين نحكي فيها كمان 1 year and a half. You will come and tell me the drawing part was the easiest ever part in this degree. Okay? تمام?
Drawing for a few
Doctor,
years.
questions kind of open-ended.
No, I'll talk about these questions now. I'll talk about it. Like, let me just go through this part again for the scenarios. So I'm giving you here 5 issues, and on right here, I'm giving you 5 scenarios, asking you to map each of them to the right issue. Like, first one, when I say requirement states the system should be fast, user-friendly. Which one here is indicated? It's ambiguity. Again, we explained this, right? So user-friendly, when we say it's fast, this has to be measurable. Okay. Specification mention one module must always log the user action, while the other one states login is optional. So this is what? There is a contradiction, which reflects what? There is inconsistency. Okay. A new feature requires using a quantum encryption module, but no such library exists within the project platform. Infeasibility. Now the requirement to generate monthly report doesn't explain the report format, data source, or filter is needed. Incompleteness. The application shall improve user happiness by 20%, but there is no defined metrics to measure this improvement. This is testable. Okay? And again, reflect back on this point. If there is anything that you will put on a requirement document that you feel like you cannot test it, this is not a requirement. So it has to be something you can test, okay? Whether in functionality or in any given measures. Like use cases, here I'm asking you to define the right relation. Okay. Again, this is part and whole, if you notice, both of them, right? Okay, which one was the first?
Composition.
Do you know why, or shall I explain? Clear? So this is composition. Second?
Aggregation.
Clear?
Yes.
Any question about this part?
If they did not tell us and it was those two answers, have the job.
في الماتشنج انت نظرتي
Have the dependency.
Again, which part?
دي
D? This one? In feasibility. Okay, this one? Okay.
So the battery cannot exist independently.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. So here I'm asking you to use a module. Let's assume I'm a big organization, and usually big organizations they do enforce employees to use their own languages or use their own platforms to implement. So you cannot take your own like an external IDE, let's say. You have to use a given module. You have to use a given language. Some organizations even do develop their own languages. So imagine I'm asking you to use a given encryption module, but this library doesn't even exist within the platform of the project. Okay? So it means what? You cannot really do it, right? It won't work. So if it does not exist, how would you use it? Okay? Type. Sketching. Nice. Okay. What?
Is it out of 10 or out of 20?
I'll reduce this. Just give me time. I'll solve it and come back here to the grading part. Okay, so I'm asking you here to create a use case diagram. I'm giving you here 5 different functional requirements, right? So who are the main users? First, we said when dealing with the use cases, we need to look into actors, then
Requirements.
the use cases, then
Boundaries.
boundary, then
Connections.
excellent. Connections or relations, we call it, right? So when connecting, let's say, 2 use cases to each other, how will you connect them? All right, so let's start with the first one. Who are the key actors?
Reader.
So I have the reader and
Librarian.
librarian. So these two are obvious.
Payment system.
Again, system, and I'll tell you. So system boundary counts, or you will see this is a point of negotiation for people who are designing a use case, okay? Many designs, you will see them adding systems, and others will argue that this is not the way you do it. So both models are still accepted. Third, last one here, sorry, fourth, is the payment gateway. Again, here I'm asking you, so here I'm saying collecting item requires the reader to process the payment through the payment gateway. So this is the key actor who starts this part, right?
Payment gateway is an actor.
Okay, who are the actors? When we say it's a human, right?
I thought payment gateway is
It's an object, it's an API,
Like the external system.
it's a microservice,
Payment gateway زي كأنه حكينا
right? Any possible service provider could be simply counted as an actor. Alright? So again, when I say, for example, I'm using PayPal, do you actually implement in PayPal? You use this as external service. When I say I'm using GPS to locate, let's say, inside my own application, am I implementing it? No, but my system does interact with it, right? So there might be a use case that's linked to, so this use case I'm implementing, but it's taken full support from this external service provider. Yes, okay, so that's how we do it. We start with the boundary of our system, right? We define our own actors. Again, I will count up to 3 actors. You don't have to make it 4 actors. So the system is optional. Whoever did not put the system, this is optional. Yes.
I don't get how the system can be an option.
So again, it's not meant to have here any use case that's not attached. Okay, usually any use case you put here has to be linked to an actor. Someone has to initiate this. Okay? So when I say notification, for example, it's not from the librarian side, it's not from the reader side, right? It's not from the payment gateway. So who does it?
The system,
The
to
system.
the actor. Can't you do like the arrow facing the
Well, that's why I'm telling you. It's either you put it here within the system boundary, or you link it to external system actor. But إذا you feel like there is a training process between these use cases, it's better to link it to external actor. So it becomes meaningful. You will see this حتى later بعدين. We already talked about generalization within actors, remember? So imagine there are 2 use cases, one that's linked, let's say, to parent, and one linked to the child. Okay? So assume your system has subsystems. How would you describe this? Clear? Okay, so again, we're still talking about very simple problem statements here. But anyways. طيب, let's define here على حتى diagram هنا because of time. Let's do define here what use case is attached to everyone. So reader, searching the catalog, this is one. Again, you put it in oval shape, connected. Place a hold. Anything else? You pay fees, right? That's third, right? Okay, now the system sends you notification, so it's only one. Okay? Good?
Yes.
Yes.
If I connected the notification to the reader, is it okay?
To the reader.
Yeah. Because it notifies the
Who sends? Okay, now we need to know who sends this notification. Who processed this use case?
Why you said it's okay to not put the system as an actor. So
Yeah, but you don't link it to wrong actor. That's the point.
What is supposed to link to?
I mean, if you leave it just alone, this might be okay. But if you link it, just give me a justification. Why did you link it to the reader as an actor? Because it shows. How did you write it? Is it showing notification?
notify.
Seeing notification?
No, notify. To the reader.
Okay, the way I would read it in this diagram, I will say the reader notifies. That's how you read the diagram, okay? So it ends up being incomplete.
Yeah.
But again, for now we're still learning, so take it easy, okay? I'm not gonna be so picky on this. طيب. Now let's consider the librarian. So here we have what? So here hand over the item. Or let's say clear, make a clearance, but this is optional, okay? Like one more thing, payment gateway is processing your payment. Now for you to pay the fees, it goes into processing, right? So these two are linked as use cases. What kind of relation between both? Includes, exactly, thank you. So here you have includes relationship. Clear? Now, last question is the easiest.
Yeah, no.
It is the easiest.
This was easy.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. لحظة. See this.
This one. It was easy.
You just press
The state diagram.
Okay. Now let's do this one. So here I have Quran, and I'm giving you here following three main states, which is closed, reading, closed. Okay? How do you do a state diagram? Here, closed, reading, closed. Okay? طيب. This scenario is meant to tell you what happens so the state can change from one to another one. Exactly. So when the user opens the application, it moves from close to reading. So from here to here, it's on opening application, right? So that's the first piece of info. All right. Second one is what? While in reading surah, so while here in this state, when the user taps on next, the app loads next chapters. So you keep on loading, right? But it stays in the same reading state. So what we do here is what? A recursion. So it's self-looping. Self-loop.
A nested state, a nested
What do you mean nested state?
inside here up the next chapter it stays. I did inside that state thing, another state thing saying next chapter.
Oh, next chapter is not a state.
Oh my god, yeah.
ايه دكتورة تعالي اقترح انه لو لسه الشابترات الجاي فيها رسم هيك
Guys, I can return back to that chapters. I did lots of exercises with you on this.
ايه بس انه نحن نرسم هيك
عملنا الكاركتر when it was moving and idle and
I did activity day.
we have يمكن 2-3 examples بالslides بس state diagram.
دكتور ما عندنا نحن ستارت وان.
You can still add start and end. I'm not gonna deduct marks for this. But here يعني whether you do it or not, it's still working. لا لسه we're not done yet. Okay. So here, where did we stop? Okay. If the user taps pause, it moves from pause to. It moves from reading to pause. So here, when tapping pause, it goes here, right? And then it moves. Okay, on pressing resume, it returns back to reading. So here, when pressing resume, it goes back here to reading. Okay? Then, when the user exits the application, it moves back to closing. So from these two, it can go back here. When you simply exit, it goes back to the closed state.
Doctor, I know the PowerPoint's more complicated than this. Like the drawing of the PowerPoint, it has like slashes and actions and
I can't give you an exam time a complex study, a complex problem. This is so easy. Literally, we're solving it in 3 minutes. But we're moving step by step. You're skipping details. That's the point. When I know this is the type of diagram I need to see, I need to work with, I need to first know, okay, what do I need? Like when we did with the use case, we define, we need actors, we need boundary, we need use cases, we need relations, right? Then start looking for these in the same order you do it. Okay? Same here, states. I'm giving it to you clear, crystal clear. And I was planning to put it for you in a context, but I was like, no. No, this is clear for you. 3 states here. Okay? But then read the scenario to know what's happening here. How to move from one to another.
Doctor, when to use the slash?
When to use the slash. What slash? What slash?
There's like event slash actions. We might like I think it's
Either.
condition.
Either. So on the arrow you mean here?
You know how you're writing on the arrow? You're supposed to write a word and then a slash, another word.
Either. The way you do it, the format you type it in can come in multiple ways. They're all accepted. So again, when you want to define what event happens first and then like a condition, let's say, when you have a condition.
Put it in brackets.
So for example, if age is 20, it goes to that state when it's, I don't know, you got my idea?
Yeah.
So if there's a condition and then you can define the action behind it. So if age is 20, let's say this is adult. If it goes below 20, below 10, this is a child, and so on. Anyway, so that's simply how you solve it. Like, I'm reducing the weight on these last two questions. And again, I promise I'm going to be lenient with grading this time. But again, I do expect a lot of you, from you when it comes to the final exam. So please put much effort on this. Again, it's not hard. You just need to understand the context.
Doctor,
Please.
final inshallah, are you gonna make it harder?
It's not harder. Guys, the reason why I'm giving you these midterms is you know the structure of the final. Okay? And if I make it you super easy in the midterm and the quiz, and then in the final you get to see it a crisis, this is going to be the same level. I'm not going to make it harder, okay? So this is it. Let's practice on this level. Yes.
Doctor, can you make a review sheet with practice for drawing?
For drawing, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Like case studies.
Sure. That works. Tell me. Any other thing?
Can we just, for this course, can we just have the assignment and the final left? Or is there,
Assignment done already, again. So it depends on when you submit.
so this
You
one's
still
not
have the
last
project.
one?
Yeah, that's the last one. You still have the project, and you still have the final, inshallah. Okay. Do you need extra assignments? I can give you.
No.
إذا زيادة علامات إيه عادي.
ما في وقت. If they would push us up.
But finish what you have, okay? Because you still have this assignment, the other assignment, the other SE201 assignment, the projects. Finish. If you feel like you have the capacity, let me know, okay? I can do something easy for you. Like, please prepare your
I
phone.
adopted the HTML.
HTML.
Oh, that's discussion.
Yes.
Discussion, yeah.
ما عرفنا نسوي.
Which one?
Did we finish it also? Then you will continue this on Sunday, okay? We're all done? Any other question?
دكتورة استخدم نفس اللي استخدمناه لل 201 بالواجب، كان طالب آخر سؤالين نعمل نعمل واجهة تبع اللوجين، استخدم نفس الطريقة عادي اللي هي HTML CSS وجافا سكريبت سوا
في
بالواجب تبع 201.
You want to implement a web application?
لا هو حاطين كاتبين انه عادي يعني استخدم نفسه.
Yeah, any language you pick, the language you feel comfortable with. It's okay. Alright. Okay, please scan the QR.